Welcome to our live webinar. This is our very first time doing this, so just bear with us while we get used to some of the different things we're trying to accomplish today. One of the things I'm trying to do right at the moment, if I can get the computer to cooperate, let me see here. I need that. So thanks for coming. Just give me a moment and we're going. There we go. Got what I was looking for. All right. These things do crazy things when we're trying to do share, but that's quite all right. So, anyway, today we're going to talk about powering your career, secrets to applying English skills in the real world, and how you can use these skills not just to learn English. English is a valuable skill, it's a required skill. We have a world that's very interconnected right now where you need the ability to speak English. It's very important, but you need skills beyond just learning the English. You need to be able to communicate in writing. You're going to maybe need to do presentations. Teachers doing one right now. And you have to get out of your comfort zone. Teachers out of his comfort zone. Yes, we agree on that. And you're just going to understand that there's a lot that is going to happen and a lot of things for the next 25 years. Many of you young professionals now, you're going to be the teachers, the mentors, the ones providing the guidance and the management. So what you need to do is you need to start building your skills now. So we're going to go way beyond just learning English. So we're going to apply those skills for true professional empowerment. And yes, many of you already know who I am. There's something written down there for those of you who'd like to know a little more about me. Today's webinar is about you and about your career and about the things that you're going to encounter. Opportunities exist right now that never, in our history of the world, they've never had these kind of opportunities. And it was a time when basic English skills were always important, but even more so. But can you use them and apply them in today's professional setting? It's very fast paced. In the 90s, around the turn of the century, office skills, knowing how to a word processor, a spreadsheet, email, all very important. A lot of still are. And now what's happened is a lot of technical advances. So we had to be office able to do office. You had to have office skills, office knowledge. Now you have to have tech skills. Trust me, teachers learned a lot about tech skills recently and just keeps learning. And that's what's going to be happening. You're going to need tech skills. But guess what? There's something new happening. It's AI skills. And a laughing joke among older people is, oh, you don't know how to do it, find a child or find a young person. But is that true? Do all young professionals have a lot of tech skills? No, actually, there is a gap. There is a difference. There is a void, a distance between the skills people have going forward and the skills that are going to become absolutely essential, maybe 5 years, maybe even sooner. Yes, artificial intelligence and then AI for my writing students. Yes, you say the word and then you put the parentheses with the initials. Then for the rest of the time, once you've identified those initials are standing for artificial intelligence, then you say or use AI. So that's what we're going to do here for this webinar. See, teacher's going to take time to do some actual teaching. Then it just makes it more fun and it makes teacher in a classroom. It's where teachers used to be. And we'll talk about confronting fears in just a few moments. So you can read and write in English. That's good. Are you able to do networking? Are you able to build relationships? Are you able to become part of a community? Are you able to do that? That's what we're talking about today, is we're talking about having your career grow and expanded. That's what we want to do. And now we're going to talk about something that we want to introduce an idea. The fear of making a mistake is holding you back from career advancement. Let's talk about fear. Your fear of speaking English, your fear of appearing on camera, your fear of doing a presentation in front of other people, teacher's fear of doing a webinar live by himself for the first time, and he's doing it, he's getting it done. It means confronting your fear. Teacher recently was in Asia, and if you go to teacher's YouTube channels, English teacher Dale Snavely is my primary YouTube. You'll see the videos of me overcoming a fear of heights. Teacher was very afraid of heights, but yet teacher taught class 81 stories up in the air on a glass platform. And you can see teacher on our global language community YouTube page. You can see teacher climbing up the stairs with the harness and the tether line. And yes, the harness was not fastened in the back. So it was there for appearances. It would not have saved me if something had gone wrong. And the glass panels on the side, the glass floor, teacher can't talk today, below me, and up above, sky. And I'm 81 stories up in the air. Doing a live webinar for the very first time meant teacher had to overcome a lot of fears. One of the biggest fears is the tech and making sure everything was correct and that we're able to broadcast this live. That's the biggest fear. There are other fears, but we're not going to talk about those. But I want to tell you something, especially my students and my friends, fellow teachers over in Asia. Losing face is a fear, very real. It's not imagined, it's a very real fear. And you need to confront that fear. I had some students, I recently helped teach an actual high school class. He was in his classroom in Iraq, in Tikrit, Iraq, teaching his high school students, and he had me on speakerphone. And we were talking to the students about what they can do to build confidence and to have courage speaking English. Well, one of the first things you can do is practice. Make it a habit to practice every day. The other is pronunciation. And I do this little exercise. Pronunciation. Use the syllables. You break big words into smaller pieces. That makes them easier to pronounce. And it makes it easier to gain confidence speaking English. Because one of the first things you can do is use this to help you in your career or your college or your high school, wherever you're at, or your business. Break things into small pieces. Don't let the overwhelming task consume you. Break it down into small, digestible parts. Don't let that mouse with the bullhorn think you can't do it, because you can do it. You can. Now, one of the other things, and this is some teachers have asked me, and students too, even friends, why do I teach fluency before accuracy? Well, a lot of it has to do with helping my students get over the hurdles. If I can have a student read a paragraph While that student is reading the paragraph without being interrupted, I tell the paragraph, just read it. It's only teacher and you. There's only two of us. Because I'll do this when the students just one-on-one instruction. Even if there's a classroom full of students, I'll pull them to one side so I can hear them read. And I will be making little notes and I will listen for the words they're struggling with. And I will help them when they're finished. Because I want them to build confidence. And this is a very effective way. I write down words they struggle with. I say, sometimes you have to unlearn something that you've learned the incorrect way. And sometimes it's hard. And people may have visual impairments. Yes, teacher has a visual impairment. They may have a hearing impairment. Yes, teacher has a punctured eardrum. Sometimes it is hard for teacher to hear something. You'll see teacher turn his head to one side to get a better chance at hearing. Sometimes a sound will come and teacher doesn't know which direction the sound is coming from. It's just something teacher deals with. But you overcome it. You don't let it hold you back. You don't let it stop you. So we talked about pronunciation. Well, what's the other part? Meaning. You need to know the meaning of the words. And words in English can have two different meanings. You hear the word meet, M-E-E-T. We decided to meet today for this live webinar. Or there's meat, M-E-A-T, the type you eat, chicken, turkey, are types of meat that people eat. So what you need to do when you have a sentence, you need to know the meaning of the word. When I was a child, how many of us had to write the word 500 times on a chalkboard? Well, it doesn't do a lot of good if you don't know what the word means. You don't know how to pronounce it. So normally when I have vocabulary words, I put them in sentences so that they can be understood. So why this matters to you. See, teacher found a misspelled word. Oh, that's why. There was a missing word in there. That's all right. Why does it matter to your career? Let me fix that. Teacher will fix it later. It's not just about a better job. It's about improving your life. It's about contributing to your community. So why it matters? It does matter. You want to try to do your best. You do want to go out into the world and do what you can to make a difference. My partner in this, who is the co-founder of the global language community, Tina, she's an optometrist in Hanoi, Vietnam. She works a lot of long hours and she couldn't be with us today because she started working early this morning. And right now in Vietnam, it's 9:15 p.m. She's still on duty. She's still working. She works in the evening so people can come to the clinic to get their eyes examined without having to take off time from work. She works on the weekends so they can bring their children to get their eye exams so they don't have to pull them out of school. Sometimes she goes into the rural communities. One of her biggest concerns is the care, treatment, and diagnosis and prevention, I would add, of my teacher can't talk. Myopia, very critical. And we're going to have a special webinar that she will host where she's going to tell you about myopia, why it's important, and why it's so critical, especially in nations where children spend so much of their time in front of a computer screen playing computer games or looking on their phones, and why it's an unspoken concern. Excuse me, I have to have some water. Live broadcast, live. We're talking live. And anyway, I just wanted to tell you it does make a difference and you can make a difference. So we have a blueprint for success. We want you to bridge the gap from just grammar. And when I say grammar, that's just learning English that you've been taught to making you confident communicators and have real world applications to succeed for your career success. And turning this language proficiency into a professional advantage. You want to do something that sets apart yourself. I work with some high school students here in Colorado. My duty to them is to grade their paper. They've learned to fear my red pen, and they don't understand. It's not to insult them, it's not to make them feel worse. It's to enhance their ability to write. These students I work with are trying to get into some of the best universities in America. Maybe they're trying to get into a military service academy. Maybe they're looking for their own reasons, their own benefits. So, what do we have here in Colorado? We have students who have phenomenal academic ability. These students here amaze me at what they're able to do academically. They have great grades. They volunteer to their community. Been on volunteer assignments here in Colorado occasionally, where I've seen just how hard these students work and they have dedication to their communities. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about making a difference in your community. We're talking about students who are student athletes. So you've got all these different things, and you have it too. If you're one of my college students in Asia, one of my young professionals, college students in Philippines, all these young people vying for all these awards, all this recognition. My students, when I was teaching in Asia, trying to get into graduate school. What separates all of you when you're all doing so great? Your writing ability. My college students back in 2019, a lot of you were dismayed and you were, I think, justifiably angry. And I had to sit down with you, not sit down with you, to tell you why the writing makes such a difference. Why do words need to be spelled correctly? Why does punctuation count? Why, when we write out a word and then you want to use the abbreviations, why it needs to be spelled out first? The reader may not know what you know, but it's important because I want your ability to show through. Your writing ability will set you apart when everyone is doing as best as they can. Your writing ability and your presentation. I showed you a mistake on that past slide. Did I do that so that I can point out and see what happens when you make a mistake at the worst possible time? You're on a live broadcast going out worldwide and you have a misspelled word, but it wasn't misspelled. It's because the one word after it wasn't showing on the slide. That can wreck someone's confidence. That's a good example of what could go wrong and why it's important to try to do things correctly. Now, I'm going to wait on this final slide. We're not there yet. I'm going to try to tell the computer if it will let me. I'm going to stop the share. Here I am. Well, hi, I see some familiar faces. It's good to see you. I hope you're enjoying being here today. And what I want to do, I'm going to do another share. Let me see if I can do this. I'm trying to see if I can get to what I am looking for. And of course, I'm not able to see what I am looking for. All right, bear with me just a moment while I bring up what I am looking for. Oh, well, here, I'm not going to let my partner in all of this. This is what I was supposed to show at the beginning, but let me see if I can. Oh, no, it's still not working. Wait just a moment. I know what I need to do. All right. And let me see what we can do here. And let's see if I can get the technology to work.
Ciao, hi everyone. Have a good day. I'm Tina.
And we heard her, but we could not see her. That's called my lack of technical ability to show the screen when I wanted to show it. Let's see. We're going to give it one more attempt.
Hi everyone. Have a good day. I'm Tina.
Let's see if we can do it.
Hi everyone. Have a good day. I'm Tina.
Now, hopefully it worked that time. Thanks, Ina. Thanks for letting me know it was working. And thank you, Clarice, for your help on this. So let me take a look. I'm just going to go ahead and start what I want to do as a special bonus. I want to make sure we have time for this before our time runs out today. What I want to share is I have a case study that I did that is a bonus. Anyone who can just email me at dale@englishteacherdale.com. Send me an email and I'll get you a copy of the bonus. Or if you contact us through our community at glcunity.com, you can get a bonus of this case study that we're going to do. I love case studies. Case studies are a lot of fun. This case study is about plastic. We have an insurmountable problem on Earth of just endless plastic. And we need to start working on some solutions to deal with it. Yes, it can be gathered up. Yes, it can be sorted. Yes, you can make products with it. Recently, because we have a local situation here where I live, our power company contacted us and gave me a thought because I was watching a YouTube video. So that's how also I got the thought. Did you know plastic is a petroleum product? And as such, it can be turned into gasoline, diesel, kerosene. It can have coke. And amazingly enough, you can burn it in such a way to make electricity. Well, we have some coal-fired power plants here. They're about to be decommissioned. They're going to be shut down. And my thought was, how about using plastic waste to make the electricity? So wish me luck on this. I have a feeling they're going to tell me I am not an engineer. I'm not a tech person. I'm an English teacher. So we'll see how they react. You never know. It's an amazing thing. We also have something called the Public Utilities Commission that we have to go through. So we're going to see what we can find out. So let me see. I'm going to try to share again. Wish me luck on trying to share. And I think this is where we got that one. I think, I might be able to do it this time. Let's see. Let me try to share. All right. And if I can share the screen. Even the smallest pieces of plastic can do irreparable harm to our waterways, mostly our rivers and our oceans. We need to do something about it. All right. Were you able to see that? Great. Thanks. All right. So that was the first one. I have a couple more. They're very short. They won't take us very long in class here. Let's see. I get rid of that one. I have another one to share. Oh, it's working. But and let me start share again. These students, just because teacher doesn't know how to do something doesn't stop teacher from doing it. Plastic in our oceans isn't just unsightly. It's unhealthy to the marine life. It's unhealthy for just a variety of reasons. But something can be done about it. Do we have the willingness to do what has to be done to clean up our oceans, clean up our waterways? We have another video that you'll see of rivers and just of waterways. And a lot of it is the willingness to do it. Now, the good news, this plastic can be recycled, and it can be turned into useful products or even fuel. There's a way to convert it. Do we have the willingness to do it? Do we? Okay. And I have one more video that to show, and then we can give me just a moment. A beautiful waterway. And let's see here, we're going to share. A beautiful waterway. A bird flying around from one place to another in the video here. But what's wrong with this picture? What doesn't belong? Well, you can see two very noticeable plastic bottles floating on the top. Matter of fact, the bird is near one right now. There's actually a third one that you may or may not be able to see at the very bottom of the video. And it's not right. We have beautiful waterways. We need to protect them. Plastic can be turned into other products. It can be converted into fuel. And we just need to be willing to do something about it. Are you willing to help? Please let us know. All right. Well, that is our case study. Now, I've got a Google document. I'll turn it into a PDF that goes with those videos to help with the case study. So the case study itself is, all right, teacher, you showed us what the problem is. There's the plastic. It's horrible. It's disgusting. We all deal with it every day. You found some solutions, but how do you do it? And I'm just a young person. I live here in Thailand, or I live in the Philippines, I live in the Vietnam. What can I do? Well, what you can do is you can talk to your friends. You can reach out to your municipal building, to your local leaders. You can talk to your teachers, maybe at school, or maybe if you've graduated, your former teachers. You can find people in your community who are willing to help, who are willing to do something about it, willing to make a difference. Are you willing to make a difference in your community? That's how it gets started. And you're not going to get off the hook. You have permission to do it. I just gave it to you. There's no reason for you not to do this. So don't say, oh, no one ever told me I could do this. You've been told. Yes, you can do it. Yes, you're being told to do it. There. So my students who've had me in class, you know how it is. Teacher will tell you what it is. And those of you who are with me in Asia who've had me as a teacher, you'll know, you'll understand. So a lot of you know me, a lot of fellow teachers out there. I've had fellow teachers who joined me on some, you can see some of the teaching teachers done. Go to Instagram. You'll see some, if you look hard enough, you'll find some interesting short lessons we've done with other teachers. So what we're talking about is, and I'm going to start my conclusion now, is just put one foot in front of the other. Keep moving forward. When I was in Vietnam, they taught me how to cross the street. The traffic doesn't stop, and you have to go into the traffic pattern as a pedestrian while they're going. And it is scary at first. The first 3 days I was in Vietnam, I have my student who was with me, who helped me, and you just basically learn that as you're going across, they're going to either go in front of you or behind you, but there's an element of trust there. And in our communities, we need to trust one another. We have to. And it's just so amazing to see just some of the exciting things that we've had throughout the year and just some of the amazing opportunities. There are jobs that haven't even been created yet that people are going to be doing. We all went through the pandemic. We all know the suffering. We also know that because of the pandemic changed certain things, our webinar today would not have occurred before the pandemic. We wouldn't be involved in worldwide opportunities. I think even the creation of artificial intelligence is something that may be looked upon what was life before the pandemic and what's happened after. How many of us go into a restaurant now where they're just doing everything on their little pad and sending it right to the kitchen? They call it contactless. It even has a name. And all these different things that have occurred and opportunities. And one of the biggest areas that teacher is focused on, because teacher was just there a few months ago. And it was so great meeting online students. My driver at Mactan Airport in Cebu. Hi, Dale. I'm student Dale. I'm your driver. He was one of my students. And meeting with young students when I was in Japan, and meeting two of my online students while I was in Hong Kong. And one of my students, and who is actually registered, uh, was with me the first 3 days in Vietnam, and then going to Hanoi and having a flight crew that really helped me out a lot. Attendant who was very helpful. I did remember. And at the hotel and the restaurant and the front desk, and just all the energy and all the excitement and the warmth, and how teacher felt so accepted everywhere I was at. Vietnam, Wendy and Bonnie and Vu and Chelsea and everyone else that was just so, oh, Red, I didn't forget you, Red. And in the clinic and meeting and working with Tina and having her become my partner as a co-founder of the Global Language Community. And I am an established patient at her clinic while I was working there. She's one of the health professionals who's taking care of my problem with my left eye and becoming my English student. And it's just so many things. But I would be remiss if I didn't point out something. What did I actually see in Asia that relates to this particular webinar? I saw enthusiasm. I saw growth. I saw lots of cranes. I saw buildings being built. I saw young people very busy, working hard, intelligent people who were out there making a difference in their communities, from Japan down to the Philippines and going over to Bohol and spending time to Thailand. And yes, the tragic where the people died, we feel badly about the building that collapsed. Yes, I did see that building before it happened. Uh, Enthusiasm. I hated to say something bad, but it was important. But Malaysia, the people very hardworking, and meeting people who us we were there, and the clinic, that the medical staff, and just all the different memories. And I always want to keep things positive. I try so hard. Don't always succeed, but it's a goal to keep things positive. But I saw so much opportunity. I saw so many amazing things and so many amazing people. And it was just the excitement of being there and seeing how much effort they are making to keep plastic cleaned up. I was expecting to see lots of plastic garbage, and I didn't. The pollution was very bad, yes, the air pollution. And there are ways that it can be done, but it has to be done from the bottom up. The cavalry is not coming to save you. I was a kid, we'd go to the movie, you'd hear the da-da of the cavalry coming to save the people. Well, we are the cavalry. There's no one coming. We're it. We have to go out into our communities. We have to make the ones. We have to make the difference. And I just want to finish. Let me do one last screen share if I can. It's trying to do a screen share. Let me get it. And I think I did. Oh, this screen share is kind of weird. It flips back and forth. But anyway, what we have is this is the next step. It's the path to professional empowerment. And you can come to our website, glcunity.com. We have one micro course already available. It's ready and it is possible to enroll in the class. And we have direct links that are there. So that can help you take care of your career and empower you. And that's kind of what we want to end on, is just encouraging you to go out and make a difference. That's what this is about. It'll make a difference because it'll help you live a happier, healthier life. You can help your family, be helpful to your family, helpful to your community, to your country, and to our world as a whole. So right now, I'm going to say, uh, and I hope that you've enjoyed being here today. And what I will do now is I can open it up if there are any questions. I will do my best. The chat is kind of hard to read on this, but I had a couple questions before that were before the session. And let's see here. Um, teacher just, okay. Why? Okay, my focus is on the young professionals, but teacher, not all of us are young professionals. That's right. We have a part, we have a place in this too. Our place and our part in all of this is to be teachers, the leaders, the guiders, the mentors. I think I mentioned this earlier. And that's what we have as an answer to that question. Are there any other questions out there? Does anyone else want to ask a question? If you need me to help unmute, just let me know. Okay. Does anyone have a question? Okay. Questions? All right. Well, then I'm going to end this webinar. Uh, survived. I'm still here. And I just want to thank you for coming. And on behalf of the global language community, on behalf of Tina, my partner and all of this, and my guests who were kind enough to come, there is a replay. You'll be able to replay it. I'm going to put it on our global language community YouTube website, along with if you have 45 minutes to laugh. I did a practice one on Sunday, and I'll put both of them up so everyone can see it if you need some good laughs. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for coming. And now I'm going to try to find how to end this. Okay.